So you're playing for the Lions. It's a snowy game against the Eagles.
Yep.
She's in the airport, I believe, going home,
Yep.
and she slips and falls. Take it from there.
We played up there in Philadelphia. She slips on some ice on the going into the airport, and fell and hit her back. In the process of getting checked out, they noticed some abnormalities and found out she had pancreatic cancer during the process. And fortunately, it was, you hear pancreatic cancer, it's like death sentence, Fortunately, she found it, I guess, as early as you can, and went to Johns Hopkins. Dr. McCary did a little Whipple operation on her, and that happened like 7 years ago now.
Mom, Marka Johnson, I'm thankful for your vision and drive. Her spirit leads her. Her drive pushes her to be the best at everything she touches. And not even a blow, such as pancreatic cancer, was able to dampen her spirit.
Why was it important to you to bring it up in the speech?
Because, when we heard she had it, we didn't know what stage exactly. We kind of heard it was early, it hadn't really metastasized yet, but every time you hear that, you're like, yeah, and then you find out later that, this has done something already. But, just to see her faith in action, man, she just, all she was just in her prayer closet all day, every day. She was in the hospital. She was always in good spirits. Always speaking positively. Wouldn't let anybody come in there speaking any or bringing any bad energy or anything like that. So she did a great job of just controlling her, her whole attitude and the effort that she put into her recovery.
What a blessing, the honor, and the inspiration it was to witness and to have you as our mother.
But for him to say, that she was strong and that her faith kept her, that was emotional to me because I told them that, everything was going to be okay.
What was your reaction when you initially found out?
Everything just drops. It's just, oof. It's like, that's the one, you might not know much about cancer, but if you know anything about cancer, like pancreatic is not the one you want to get. So we found out it was a blow. My dad had a quadruple bypass, like when I first got into the league, so it could easily be without both my parents right now. So, just a straight blessing.
What was the hardest part about her process of going through that?
Just seeing her, she wasn't really, let's say, deteriorating, but she was losing weight, and just seeing her looking real frail, that was a scary time.
Whether the mom or the dad, your kind of takeaways from going through those experiences?
Just enjoy the time that you have and spend as much time as you have with them. Right now the business keeps me up here, but my oldest son is down there, so I get back down to Georgia to see them and the family. But it'd be nice to be living down there and enjoy like all the time I have left with them.
What's interesting about your family is, while you might be the most famous, all of your siblings have had a lot of success in their own right. What about your upbringing do you think is responsible for that?
My parents are real involved. Mom Johnson, she's, kind of like a perfectionist to her own right, always trying to do everything to the best of her ability. And, everything she touches, it like turns to gold.
Mom's sitting in there and we're talking. Kelvin's going to commit, but I'm going to tell you this right now. That head coach has about 90 players, he said. Kelvin's coming to you. If something happens, I better know first, Coach Geis, or I'm coming after you. I said, Mrs. Johnson, if he gets in any problem, I'm calling you immediately. We will find that out immediately, what Kelvin did. Mom scared me all the time. I used to tell her. Yeah, Mom dominated me. I said, when I saw her coming, I said, Kelvin, you're on your own. I'm staying away from Mom.
She's always on us about school, man. Just all A's, B's, a C is like an F, a C she's pulling you out of sports, stuff like that. Just little small threats like that that just kept us on point.
Education was a value strong in my family, and in order to really achieve, you need an education. Anyone can make a C, come on. You can sit up in the classroom, you can make a C. But when you're making A's and B's, that means you're paying attention, and you're listening, you're doing your work, and you're doing quality work.
If you came home without an A, there was a little bit of a problem.
Really?
She expected the best. And my dad was right there in the background just making sure we did everything we had to. My mom was like, you'd come home, you'd say, hey, I'm learning. My dad was like, but are you really learning?
My dad always played the other role. He was just cool, calm, collected, and just seeing him, same demeanor all the time, whatever's going on, those two totally different personalities, but we're able to see the work, they put in for everything that they got, and that's why we are the way we are.
I married well. I married a woman that put in their head that they can do anything that they want to. And she provided them opportunities. I worked so much, but she put them in situations that you can try a little bit of everything. And whatever you want to do, you can do it.
In what ways was your mom strict?
We wanted to do something, we knew not to ask mom, because we were probably going to get a no. You know, we always asked dad, but and then he would be like, well, go ask your mom. So we just didn't bother asking. So, but with her, like I say, whether it was school, she's a huge disciplinarian, and both of them preach that do it to the best of your ability, or you won't know how good you can be.
And the worst punishment was not being able to leave the yard, right?
Yeah, when you get in trouble and like you can go outside, but you can't leave the backyard. Then you can see everybody in the cul-de-sac playing kickball, baseball, whatever, football in the street. You know, just yeah, that was the worst having to stay in the backyard.
The greatest thing is, this is true. One day he said, Coach, you can't leave. You cannot leave. He said, my mom's coming to practice. She's very mad. I said, why? I said, if your mom's real mad, I'm leaving. He said, I got a tattoo. I said, what do you mean you got a tattoo? He said, I got a tattoo, and my mom just found out about it. It's about this big on the back of his shoulder. And he was so frightened to show his mother this tattoo. I said, oh my Lord. I said, this is it. But she said, okay, Kelvin, that's it. Don't do another thing unless I approve it.
What's the most trouble you got in growing up?
When I was a kid, we were, it's a grocery store in College Park, and my mom parked up at the top. For some reason, you can move the gear while it was parked and the keys weren't in it. So my brother's in the back seat, probably like 2 or 3 years old, in his car seat. I'm in the front seat, and I moved the gear. I go down this long hill, and it's just a hill like this, and then it goes up at the bottom, and there's like a tractor trailer at the bottom of the hill. So we start rolling down the hill. Fortunately, like, we're like in the lane where people drive through, and there's no cars coming. I see my mom running down the hill, and it goes up, and it stops literally right before this tractor trailer, and it just comes back and settles in the little valley of the little hill in the parking lot. Man, I got home, I swear my mama grabbed my, like, flipped me upside down and whooped my I ain't never got my butt whooped so bad in my life, man.